Don't wait until January. Make sure you do these things before December 31st. So here are the must-do steps before the new year to lower your taxes and save you money. If you wait until January, it'll be too late. So let's go through the steps in order of priority, starting with the FHSA, the First Home Savings Account. This is your highest priority. The First Home Savings Account is designed to help Canadians buy their first home, and it combines the best benefits of both the TFSA and RRSP. All the money you put into your FHSA is tax deductible. It lowers your tax bill just like the RRSP, and that money is invested and eventually withdrawn tax-free like the TFSA. It's a total game changer, and maxing it out should be your top priority every single year. Now, here's what's critical. Make sure you open your FHSA before December 31st, even if you don't put any money in it, because unlike other tax sheltered accounts, with the FHSA, you only start building contribution room once you actually open the account. Even if you don't have a lot of money to put in right now, make sure you open the account, because at least you'll be gaining $8,000 of contribution room this year and next. So as long as you open an FHSA by December 31st, that $8,000 of unused room for 2025 will be carried forward. So on January 1st, 2026, you'll have a total room of $16,000. If you wait until January to open your account, you'll miss out. You'll only have half the room at $8,000. And if you want to max out, you'll have to wait a whole extra year. So don't make this mistake. You can keep the FHSA account open for up to 15 years. So even if buying a house isn't on your to-do list right now, it may be within the next 15 years. So get started and open this account before December 31st. But here's an important rule to understand. With the FHSA, only $8,000 of unused room can be carried forward. What that means is you can't stockpile your contribution room like the TFSA. With the TFSA, your room accumulates every year no matter what. You can do nothing for 5 years and then dump $35,000 all at once. Not with the FHSA. Only $8,000 of unused room is carried forward. You'll never lose this room. You'll always have $40,000 to contribute in your lifetime, but you can't do it all at once. You can never contribute more than $16,000 in your FHSA in a single year. So the best approach is to be consistent. Try to contribute $8,000 every year or as much as you can. This gives your money more time to grow tax-free. But for now, just make sure to at least open your account before December 31st. And also, whatever you contribute before January gives you flexibility with your taxes. If you contribute $1,000 before December 31st, you get a choice. You can claim that tax deduction right away and lower your tax bill for 2025, or you can carry it forward to next year and get a bigger tax refund if you expect your income to grow. You can carry forward this FHSA deduction the exact same way as an RRSP deduction. And really quick, I've noticed 80% of viewers who watch these videos aren't subscribed. An easy way to support this channel for free is by hitting that subscribe button, because it moves me a little closer to my New Year's goal of 10,000 subscribers. All right, up next we have the RESP, the Registered Education Savings Plan. This is a tax shelter account for your child's post-secondary education. Tuition is more expensive than ever, so investing in the RESP can make a huge difference, especially with the free grant money from the government. So here's how it works. Whatever money you put in your child's RESP, the government will match 20% of that in grants, up to $500 every single year. That's free money, so take it. And here's a strategy. Try your best to contribute $2,500 per child every year into the RESP. That way you'll earn the maximum $500 of free money every single year. And keep that up, and after 14 years, you'll reach a lifetime maximum of $7,200 of grants. So don't miss out on this free money. So it's important to make this $2,500 contribution by December 31st. If you miss a year or can't contribute the full $2,500, that's okay. You can catch up on these grants, but only 1 year at a time. Meaning if you have unused grant money, you can double up put in $5,000 into the RESP and collect up to $1,000 in grants, but this should only be used as a backup plan if you miss a year. The best approach is to put in $2,500 per child every single year and do it before December 31st. Don't wait until January. You'll miss out on that $500 and you might not get it back. There's a lifetime contribution limit of $50,000 per beneficiary with a maximum annual grant of $500 and a lifetime grant maximum of $7,200 per child. And there's no annual contribution limit, but the $2,500 optimizes government grants. Now next we have the TFSA, the tax-free savings account. This is by far the most flexible account. There aren't any strict deadlines for TFSA contributions. If you don't max out your TFSA, that unused room gets carried forward. So it doesn't really matter whether you contribute in December or January. What does matter is when you withdraw from your TFSA. That timing is very, very important. If you need money and you know you're going to withdraw from your TFSA, please do it before December 31st. Because here's why. When you withdraw from your TFSA, you can't put that money back in for the rest of the year. But whatever amount you withdraw, you regain that contribution room on January 1st. So let's say I'm maxed out and I need to withdraw $3,000. For the rest of the year, my TFSA is still maxed out. I can't put in a single dollar until January. If I withdraw in December, I only have to wait a few weeks. And then on January 1st, I regain that $3,000 of room plus the $7,000 of new room that everyone gets for the new year. Instead, if I wait until January to withdraw that money, I'll need to wait an extra 12 months until the next year to regain that contribution room. And here's the bottom line. December is the best time to withdraw from your TFSA. January is the worst. So if you need to withdraw, do it before December 31st. For 2025, the annual contribution limit is $7,000. If you've been eligible since 2009 and never contributed, you have $102,000 total room available. There's a 1% penalty per month for over contributions, and withdrawals are tax-free anytime. The RRSP, the Registered Retirement Savings Plan, has a different schedule. It doesn't follow the calendar year, January to December. Instead, the RRSP calendar starts on March 1st. This means that any RRSP contributions in the first 60 days of the new year count towards your previous. That's a good thing. This way, we can gain an extra 2 months to run the numbers and make a plan to lower your tax bill. If you had high income in 2025, you can contribute to your RRSP by March 2nd, 2026, and that deduction will lower your tax bill. So you'll receive a tax refund when you file for your tax return in April. Just like the FHSA, you don't have to claim that tax deduction right away. If you'll be in a higher tax bracket next year, you can carry forward that tax deduction and get a bigger tax refund. For the RRSP, there is no rush for December. The RRSP deadline is March 2nd, 2026 for the 2025 tax year. And now let's talk about taxes on investments in your non-registered accounts, because this is where you can really save money if you understand the rules. If you're investing outside of your TFSA, RRSP, FHSA, or RESP, you need to pay taxes on your investment income. And it matters a lot what type of income you're earning. There are 3 types of investment income, and they're all taxed completely different. First is interest income. This includes money from GICs, savings accounts, bonds, and other fixed income investments. Interest income is taxed at your full marginal tax rate, just like your salary. So if you're in a 40% tax bracket and earn $1,000 in interest, you'll pay $400 in taxes and keep only $600. This makes interest income the least tax efficient type of investment income. Next are eligible Canadian dividends. These are dividends from Canadian public companies, and they get much better tax treatment thanks to something called the dividend tax credit. The government grosses up your dividend income and then gives you a tax credit to account for taxes the company already paid. So that same $1,000 in eligible Canadian dividends might only cost you about $200 in taxes, letting you keep around $800. That's a huge difference compared to interest income. The third type is capital gains, and this is the most tax efficient. Capital gains happen when you sell an investment for more than what you paid for it. Here's the big advantage. You only pay tax on 50% of your capital gains. So if you make $1,000 in capital gains and you're in that same 40% tax bracket, you'll only pay tax on $500 of it, which means about $200 in taxes, and you keep the $800. Plus, you only pay this tax when you actually sell the investment. So you can control the timing. Now, here's something important about capital gains for 2025. The inclusion rate remains at 50% for all capital gains. The government had proposed increasing the inclusion rate to 66.67% for gains over $250,000, but this proposal was canceled in March 2025. So for 2025 and going forward, all capital gains are taxed at the 50% inclusion rate, no matter how large they are. So here's the strategy. This gets more complex, but the basic principle is to put your highest growth potential investments in your TFSA, since that growth will never be taxed. So growth stocks and equity ETFs work well in your TFSA. For your RRSP, you can hold a mix of investments, but this is where foreign stocks can be more efficient due to withholding tax treaties. For your non-registered accounts, focus on tax investments like Canadian stocks that pay eligible dividends and growth stocks that you plan to hold long-term for capital gains. And also don't forget about tax loss selling before December 31st. If you have investments that are down, you can sell them to realize a capital loss, which can offset your capital gains and reduce your tax. Just remember the superficial loss rule. You can't buy back the same investment within 30 days or you'll lose that tax benefit. And for all these deadlines, don't wait until the last day. Contributions and withdrawals can take a few business days to process, so plan ahead for that. Now here's a summary of the key dates. FHSA has a December 31st deadline to open an account and gain the 2025 contribution room. RESP has a December 31st deadline for the 2025 contributions to get government grants. TFSA December 31st is optimal for withdrawals, not contributions. RRSP has March 2nd, 2026 deadline for the 2025 tax year contributions. And for non-registered accounts, December 31st is your deadline for tax loss selling. All right, now check out these two videos for more investing and finance tips. Bye guys.